All right, so where is... All right, there we go. There we go. I think I got this. I think we maybe have it. We'll see. Okay. Okay, we're live. What is up, everyone? How's it going? Right now I got the homie Axis Excalibur in here, so
How's it
what up?
going?
What up, Axis? Good to have you on. This is the homie. He's the young one of the crew, so
Yes.
don't be mean. He's a good dude. You know, I took him on the ropes. I'm showing him the way. So that's my little brother right there. I think Oznot is gonna come through and talk some shit. But what's good, chat? Hope everything's going well for y'all on this Tuesday. This is like my first like live stream besides the podcast, like the non-podcast live stream. I definitely wanted to do a live stream just to hang with y'all because I haven't like, you know, with the holiday break and all that. So definitely didn't do much, you know. I even deleted like Twitter for a while because I was like, Twitter is getting too much. It's the holiday. Yeet. I deleted it off my phone. To be honest, I kind of regret it a little bit. Oh my god, hold on. It's Carlin. Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh. She said, hey there. Just want to say thank you so much for all the kind words and the support. Oh my gosh. Guys, I don't know if you know, Carolyn was the individual that was terminated from limited run games for no reason. She's really awesome person. I've been in contact with someone she knows, and I've been told, Kara, that you've been doing great. So, you know, despite the bad situation, you got a kick out of the support that you know you've been given. Like honestly, like for me personally, like with the whole like being able to say what you want is a big deal to me because when I started YouTube, I started it under like the thought process that I'm gonna do this my way and be myself. And if YouTube like boots me for that, then it is what it is. I just accept that. But I do whenever I see people that are wrongfully like done dirty just because like they say what they feel about something and it's not even bad by any means, or if you just follow someone on Twitter, like it's crazy, you know. So Kara, I'm really sorry about what happened to you. Honestly, it's infuriating, man. But you're a strong person, and I really think that you're gonna get through this stuff, man. Like I really do wish the best for you. It's super wrong, and we're calling limited run games out on that. So honestly, you know, just hang in there. You'll bounce back from this, and but I really appreciate you coming through. It's really nice to see you. We definitely got your back. Honestly, honestly, if you can't defend people on the basis of they're just following someone, or if you know they have an opinion that's very like milk toast, man. Honestly, that's what, like, if you can't defend people to be able to speak their mind generally, then we've lost the plot. So oh man, thank you. Honestly, I'm blushing now, but I'm glad that honestly I was able to, you know, honestly I don't really know your personal thoughts on the situation. I've only been going on what I see on Twitter and such. So I'm sure I'm not 100% on everything, but I did try my best. And yeah, when it comes to like limited run, I love to support limited run despite some of the issues I've had in the past with limited run. I do really love to support them because of the indie games that do come out physically through limited run. It's a big deal to me. That's why I own so many. Like I have a bunch back here, limited run games. I have, you know, a stack over there. I have a stack downstairs in my game room. Like I have collected limited run titles for many years, and it really does hurt the devs where they do these stupid decisions, and it hurts me because it's like I with the landscape of gaming now, with all these giant companies consolidating into like becoming a part of Microsoft or becoming a part of Sony, it's important to support indie devs to grow so that they will, you know, take the spot of these publishers that are getting bought up, or these other bigger devs that are getting bought up. I want to support small devs to being able to become bigger and have a piece of the pie and to take over these gaps that we're having in gaming with all the consolidation. So, but I really appreciate you coming through, Kara. Like I said, if you ever do want to come on the channel, talk about whatever, you don't even have to talk about limited run. You just want to hang out with me, my friends. We support you. It's just for fun at the end. Like, to me, YouTube is mostly just for fun. I do put my opinions out there, and some people don't agree with it. Some people do. It's whatever. That's their choice. I never stop them from agreeing or disagreeing with me, and just riding it out till the wheels fall off, right? You haven't made a public statement. Gotcha. You plan to soon? Hey, whatever you do, I support you. Because honestly, we have to support. Like, for me, I'm the type of person, like, I like to support the little people. Like, I don't punch down, or I don't punch at people that are on the same level as me, or like, particularly like other YouTubers, even if I avidly disagree with them. Now, if they're like a giant mega YouTuber, that's a different story. But when it comes to like companies or government, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna punch at you if you're on some BS. That's just how I feel personally. But like, honestly, what happened to you could happen to me. It could happen to everyone in this chat. It could happen to, your parents, your family members, your friends, and the less of that happens, the better. So honestly, my hope is that limited run will, realize what they did was wrong, try to make it right as best as they can. And if they show that they're truly, like, they realize that they were wrong on this, and they at least, they're at least sorry, and they try to move on, that's, I can accept that. But they have to admit that they were wrong. Like, this was the wrong move. All right, Kara, I really appreciate you coming through. That's actually super awesome that you did. Hope you, get a good nap in. Wishing you the best, and I appreciate, I appreciate you coming through, and I'm glad that I'm able to speak for you with my limited means, But yeah, I seriously do appreciate you coming through. Axis, you still there, bro?
Yeah, I just have myself muted so that way you don't hear the noise.
I got you. Yeah. So I don't know if you know what's been going on with limited run.
What about limited run?
So I know that you don't collect physical media, but to be
Well,
fair,
yeah.
to be fair, you live in a place where at any point a tornado can come through and devastate everything. So I don't blame you for that.
To be honest, if a tornado even came through, dude, like literally, I would literally probably lose like almost all my freaking games.
Yeah.
So I just recently went digital, so
yeah. So I can totally understand your scenario being like a digital collector, but limited run, unfortunately, kind of just, they axed one of their employees just because they followed, some individuals that are like right-leaning YouTube Twitter and YouTube, or just, whatever have you. And they ended up firing their employee because some like trans activist who also is a brony. I don't know if do you know what bronies are?
I think I've heard the term, but
yeah. So brony is like, oh my god. So when I was, 10 plus years ago, when I was like 16 years old, I acknowledged, bronies were acknowledged as bros that were a fan of My Little Pony. Since then, all of those bros became something else and not men. So, yeah, like, I don't even know what to define a brony as anymore. Just an individual who is overaged and masculine to some extent, or previously masculine, that is a fan of My Little Pony. So,
right, yeah.
And this person is actually the founder of the cons that basically were My Little Pony cons for adults, which to me was always weird. It will always be weird. And there's a huge stigma behind these cons. They've been known to deal with things that I can't really discuss on stream, unfortunately. So yeah, so this founder tweeted at Limited Run, basically trying to snipe at their employees, saying like, if you don't terminate this employee, I'm never gonna buy any of your games ever again. That's what happened. And Limited Run caved to that pressure from this questionable individual, which is really, really sad. And you're like, oh, upon investigation, we fired our employee. And it's like, did you investigate the person that put this pressure on you? Which they clearly didn't, because Twitter, you know, individuals on Twitter did their little investigations and found that this person is behind a lot of sus stuff. So yeah, that's yeah. And Carolyn was in the chat, and she was the individual that was unfortunately terminated from Limited Run Games, and she says that she likes my coverage of this situation, and she appreciates it, and that's awesome. That honestly made my day, I'm not gonna lie. So that's really cool. You know, like, honestly, it's awesome that I can do something for someone with my YouTube channel, you know? And honestly, if anything, I would love to fight for people that are, you know, the smaller people, the voice that isn't heard. That to me means a lot. And whenever I could do that, especially for all the right reasons, that'll always be amazing to me. So that's what it's all about, you know, really. Besides, you know, for me, it's all about having fun, about talking about the hobbies that we're into, but that also is meaningful to me. But oh my gosh, I kind of lost. We got lost in the sauce right now. First off, guys, I want to say hello, chat. What's good? I see you, Hustle and Motivate, Dre Watson, Spencer Pauly, Alex vs. Evil, Damon's Ghost, Zero Dozer, Butch, Luffy, obviously Kara, Dre Early, Sadeo Mao, what's good with you, bro? Ham Solo, what's good with you, fam? Get this work, my boy, my longtime homie, supporter of the channel, and Neozoic as well, what's good with you, fam? Alex vs. Evil, Anarchy 4K as always, and my man, Rich the Swag Lord, what's good with you, fam? You guys are awesome, man. I really, really appreciate you. Hey, Otaku the Great, what's up, homie? It's good to see you, fam. Jeez, thank y'all so much for coming through. First solo, well, semi-solo, I guess, stream of the year, and 2023 has been insane, guys. It's been super crazy. I wasn't expecting this. None of this. It's been something else, bro. I do hope that you guys did have a good year, and that you know, despite all the crazy stuff going on, you know, I hope that y'all been hanging in there. Hope that you guys are having a good start to the week, and we on the grind. Everyone's on their grind, so that's what's important. Got to do our thing, right? But real quick, I just want to. I'm just gonna pull up. I just want to give a quick shout out to my members. My channel members obviously get this work. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Our Carry, thank you so much for being a channel member. Hustle and Motivate, thank you so much for being a channel member. And I'm Rich the Swag Lord, thank you so much for being a channel member. I really appreciate you guys. Honestly, I'm absolutely humbled by everyone's kindness, if it be with a like, a share, showing up to the streams, fucking commenting in the chat, a donation, like anything, bro, anything. I'm grateful for. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, but I put out this comment that some asshole left me on YouTube, basically accusing me of asking for money. You guys know I'm not that type of person. Look, I'm the type of person, the option is there if you so choose to. If you don't want to, hey, That's completely fine. I'm glad that you're here. If you do choose to, I really appreciate you. There's no pressure from me on any of this shit. You guys know that. You guys have watched me stream many times before. I have too much pride to ask for anything. And when I do ask, it's like minor stuff. Like if you can drop a sub, like the video, like that stuff, you know. It really does help me out. You guys know that I'm not that type of person. But you guys know me. This clown, I never seen him before, dropped a really slick ass remark, basically upset for who God knows what, you know. And it just is what it is at the end of the day. But I always like to make it known that I'm really appreciative of everything that you guys do, you know, for me and for the channel. And it doesn't go unappreciated. So, yo, Top Dog, what's up, homie? Happy New Year to you, fam. Anarchy, do whatever you want, bro. It's all good. I really appreciate everything you've done for me, bro. Don't ever feel pressured. People like to spread the lies, exactly, bro. But yo, you know what Oz is. He asked me, "Oh, can I be on the live stream?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, all right. I'll open up the Discord so that you could jump in." He's in here. Yo. That's the type of dude he is, but it's whatever. He'll come through when he comes through. But yeah, Spencer, you're right. I do ignore those people, but more so, this is a moment for me to express that I appreciate everyone for every little thing. Like honestly, that's what it's all about. Like that dude, you know, I could piss him away, but you guys, I just want you to know I appreciate everything, every little thing. I really do. Hey, I man, I love you too. You said haters gonna hate. That's how you know you're winning. It be like that. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's really the truth, man. It's like if you get haters, you know that you're doing something right. That's the sad. It's sad that it needs to be that way, but that's kind of just it is what it is, you know. New Zoic is asking if I have any plans for the new year. To survive. That
Literally.
yeah, that's honestly that's the basic plan. Must survive.
Literally, that's
It
literally
is
with
what it
the
is.
years coming up. That's what you need to do, bro.
Just survive, bro. Gotta get through another year. Gotta get through the grind. Gotta get through another year. It is what it is, right? You guys got any plans for the new year? I know
But
my boy Hustle and Motivate, he got plans. I know that he's making a comeback. I know that he's been staying silent. We're patiently waiting. That's my boy right there. I want to see him prosper. So I'm waiting for him to make the comeback. Sadeo Mouse says, according to Niche Gamer, those are going after Kara are the same gang going after K are same gang going after Alec Holika? And Kicker is limited run selling his game to. I'm not sure who Alec Holika is. But that's the irony of it all, right? Yeah, like these people that just blatantly attack, like there's no rhyme or reason for the shit that they do. It's just they do things like this and they're very hateful for very trivial reasons. Spencer Polly said, "My plan is to play more games." Yes, sir. Well, I'm hoping that the games that come out this year, man, are gonna be flames. Is you looking forward to any games this year, or are you kind of just on your Call of Duty grind till the next Call of Duty?
to be honest with you, there's I want to play. I want to get into single player, like I said, a bunch of times in this group.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I'm waiting on my next gen console to really buy anything because, like I said, the last game I bought, of course, was Modern Warfare 2,
yeah.
and that was a mess to begin with. And I was just like, you know what? I'll just wait till my next gen console to buy it.
Yeah.
more games because if I continue supporting this, then I'm not.
Well, you gotta make the upgrades sooner or later. That's I will say, for someone like, I've kind of like transitioned to be more of a PC gamer at this point, but there are certain people that the consoles are certainly for, and I will say that the next gen consoles are pretty aight. They're pretty good. It's definitely a decent power upgrade from last gen, especially since I know you're on the the OG PS4, not even necessarily the Pro. So when you do make the jump, it's gonna be a pretty good leap. I think you're gonna be happy with what the differentiations from the last gen console that you have to this new one that you're probably gonna end up getting fairly shortly. I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully, and
Damn, Derp Nader said my plans are to kill my depression. I felt that to my soul, bro. Yeah, I support you, bro. Know that you are not alone, man. It be depressing out here sometimes, some of the crazy shit that goes on and some of the ways some people act and just life. Life just hits you, man. And sometimes there's no way to be completely prepared for it, but we do our best to get through it all, man. That's the best that we can hope for in general. So you are not alone, fam. Trust me. But
yeah,
is there any game in particular you're gonna get? Like, when you get a PS5 or an Xbox, Series S or X? What's the first game you gonna get?
I think that the thing is that's actually hard, right? Because I haven't played a single player game in so long. The last single player game I actually played was Last of Us Remastered.
Gotcha.
And from what I played from Last of Us Remastered, I actually enjoyed.
Okay, that's what's up.
But no, that's hard because Last of Us 2 is dog shit.
No, some people are telling me it's the greatest. The Last of Us Part 2 is indefinitely the greatest game ever made. It's no doubt. There's no problems or issues with it. All the characters make perfect logical sense. So I don't know. Maybe it's worth giving a try. If you ignore my sarcasm.
Oh my god. I do want to, cause I watched my brother play the new God of War.
Mm-hmm.
It looks beautiful. It looks great.
Yeah.
Um, my brother's been playing also the Resident Evils, cause he got like a pack of it. Like I think he got like Resident Evil 2, and I
Oh
forgot which
shit.
other Resident Evil he got.
You play scary movies, bro? I mean, scary video games. Excuse me.
I mean, I played Last of Us Remastered, and that was kind of scary. So,
Gotcha. I mean,
um,
honestly, if you think The Last of Us Remaster is scary, I don't know if you're going to be dealing with these Resident Evil games, particularly like Resident Evil 2. That shit is scary. That game, I haven't finished it because of how scary that shit is. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit is scary.
oh yeah. What else? Horizons, I've heard a lot of things, especially from this group, Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know if you played Horizon Zero Dawn yet.
Yeah, I tried it. It's not bad. Like, it's an interesting open world, but like the gameplay is fun, the action is fun, the monsters are cool, but the narrative is very strangely like delivered in a way that doesn't really. It's not really the way that they deliver the narrative is just kind of boring to me. Like, the big thing with Aloy's character is though, oh, she's an outcast, and they want you to feel sorry for her because uh basically it's very very like basic. Like I remember like one of the intro cutscenes is like, oh, Aloy's a little kid and she sees like a group of kids with their teacher or something, and she goes to talk to one of the kids, and the teacher like shoos them away from her, and it's like this is very like basic. Like I don't feel sorry for her because like I'm sure everyone has had that moment where they felt like at some point in their life like a little bit outcasted. Like we've all had that moment. Now, if you're telling me like they beat the shit out of her just because like you know she's an outsider or something like that, like okay, like now I kind of feel bad for her. But like that to me was so basic in delivering that she's an outcast, you know, and I kind of feel like the story behind Horizon just feels very like mid or kind of just it doesn't hit right. So I mean, but
Right, yeah.
but the gameplay itself is pretty damn good. So I mean, it's one of those
Yeah.
games where I think you genuinely have to try it to form your own opinion. I personally kind of fell off of the first game because it didn't drag me in a way that I feel genuinely bad for this outcast. Like when I play Tomb Raider to reboot, I feel bad for Laura. Like this bitch is going through some shit. Let's just put it that way. Like I genuinely feel bad for Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider reboot. It's one of my all-time favorite games. And if you can't get me to like the main protagonist, feel sorry for the main protagonist, or support the main protagonist, then you lost me. And with Aloy's character, I don't like her, I don't support her, I don't feel bad for her, so and I don't think that she's cool. So
Right.
that's for me. That's a very personal thing. Some people love Aloy, so honestly, I'd say you know you'd have to try that for yourself and come to your own conclusion. You may not even like the character, the story, but you love the fucking gameplay, and I wouldn't be surprised, you know, because it is pretty good.
Yeah. Anything else?
Ooh, Neozoic asked a great question. He said, "Fun question, and I don't think you've seen any of these movies because you're a youngin, but movie versus movie, Kurt Russell edition, Escape from New York versus Big Trouble in Little China." So while I think Big Trouble in Little China is a pretty good movie, I love Escape from New York. I do have an Escape from New York T-shirt. I wear that occasionally. I love that movie. I love the atmosphere, the grit. I love how fucking cool Kurt Russell looks. I love the other actors featured in it. I love the darkness. Fucking, you literally have Donald Pleasance playing the president of the United States. How could you like? How could you not be in love with that movie? But have you seen either of those, Axis?
Sadly, I'm a Gen Z, so I haven't.
You have to. They're John Carpenter flicks. I love John Carpenter. Yes,
Wow.
yes, Nuke Nukem. I love the darkness. I was molded by it. That's the damn mouse says Big Trouble in Little China hands down. Okay. I mean, I don't blame you. You know, Big Trouble in Little China is a really good movie in its own right. It's very entertaining. It's funny. It's interesting. It's hilarious how like the running gag of the entire movie is that the main protagonist really isn't a main protagonist. It's very interesting in its own right. The last grasp of Earth was very compelling. I had to find out what happened. Get you, Damon's Ghost. Yeah, Anarchy said Escape from New York for him. I love it. It's one of those movies where like I would be like a kid picturing myself in that scenario, kind of like watching Terminator. I wanted to be Kyle Reese as a kid.
Oh my god.
Yes, I was one of those. That's just the type of child I was. Like even with like watching Bruce Lee as a kid, I wanted to be Bruce Lee. I would mimic him while watching all of his movies. Like I was super obsessed with that. But let's see.
I'm sorry to say this right now, but I have to start going. If you're still most likely streaming by the time I get back, I'll most likely join again. So
All right, no problem. All right, see you later then, Axis. It was good having
see
you
you
here
later.
for the time that you were here. Hopefully, Oz will drop through. If not, we'll run it ourselves. It's all good. See you later, bro.
See you later, man. Bye.
The Anarchist is a love Solid Snake was based on Snake Plissken. Yes. Yeah. Like the one I was just saying, like the one thing about Hideo Kojima that makes him good at appealing to a Western audience is that he understands like what is cool about Western culture. Whereas when other Japanese developers try to make like video games in particular that appeal to a Western audience, it is corny shit. It is cringe corny shit. Like honestly, that's how the what's that game? Forgotten, Forspoken. Like I don't think it's. I think the gameplay is pretty good, but it kind of just comes off as absolute cringe because you have like Japanese devs that are trying to make a game that appeals to the Western audience, but like it just they aren't really versed in what's cool about Western culture. Whereas Hideo Kojima, he knows what's cool. Like he's watched stuff like Escape from New York, and he loves that kind of shit. So that's how he's better at it. Now, whether you like his games or not, it's a different story. But I think we can all come to the conclusion that Kojima isn't cringe when it comes to like the type of stuff he's trying to portray. My man said, "Nah, don't invite Oz." Yo, Society, what's good, homie? You decided to come through, hang with us. He's muted right now, but also,
no, I'm here.
I want to laugh at me. I have a confession to make, guys. So I got a key for a game, and it is horrible. But unfortunately, I do have to discuss it, even though I don't like it. It is what it is.
What'd you do?
I got a key for a game that's really fucking bad. And you guys, I'll give you guys. I'll drop a link in the chat so you guys can laugh at me.
Which game is it?
You wouldn't know it. That's the link to the game.
Oh boy, here we go.
And it's like if you accept. So I thought that the game was gonna be like a Nintendo-esque game, like what's it called? Yeah, I took a big fat fucking L on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
My Fantastic Ranch. Huh?
Yes, it's bad.
And yeah, you got a console game to play this shit.
I got it on Steam.
Oh, well, that makes it better.
Yeah, they gave me a key to Steam. Yeah, I took a big fat L. I put an F for myself in the chat. So this game is clearly made for children, but I don't even think children should be.
What gave you that idea?
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of us, like Nintendo fans, also play games that were clearly made for children, but adults like them. So I don't necessarily write it off just because it's made for children.
I'm not gonna lie, I think the last Nintendo console that I've actually bought was the GameCube. That's how far back it's been since I've fucked with Nintendo.
I mean, that's still their last great console. It may not have sold that well, but it's genuinely their last great console. Like the Switch is a handheld, you know. That's the route. Like their handhelds are always on point. Like Nintendo, no one could fuck with them on the handheld space. That's why they kind of just converted to being like a hybrid, because their consoles are hit and miss.
It feels like after the Wii, they pretty much gave up trying to compete with like Sony and Microsoft. So they were just like, yeah, no, we'll just do Pokemon and handhelds and just stick to where the money is.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's their sure shot. They're not gonna fail when it comes to the handheld.
All I'm saying is that video games was much better when Sega and Nintendo were on the top of the game. So,
I mean, Nintendo kind of fucked themselves for dissing Sony, because like basically Nintendo had a deal with Sony to make I guess like a CD thing for their console, and Nintendo kind of just fell through on their deal. And Sony said, okay, you want to fuck around like that? We're going to enter this space. And now we have the PlayStation. Now we have the PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's like now they're direct competitors, and in some ways better, in some ways worse. But
yep. And then, Microsoft years ago came out with literally a giant brick which could double as a murder weapon, and then 20 years later, here they are, still on top of the game. I mean, do you
Oh,
guys
shit.
remember the OG Xbox?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
tell me you couldn't smash somebody's head into just paste with that thing.
I mean, honestly, you could do that with the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Have you seen? So I will say, like, the Xbox Series X is pretty reasonably compact for how much power it has, but it is a fucking rectangular brick. It's a cinder block. That's literally what
Yeah.
if you pick that bitch up, it is so fucking heavy. It literally is a black cinder block. And then you
That
have
thing can literally be a support beam to like a house. That's how big that thing is.
and then the PS5 is just this enormous fucking wave of a white wave that looks ridiculous. I don't know what the fuck to make of it. It's supposed to look futuristic. It's a heavy bitch. It looks retarded. I don't. You know what? Let's get into this whole shit with the vertical PS5 situation. Now, I don't know if you've heard about this story in regards to the
not.
PS5, but they're saying that apparently the shit is fundamentally flawed. So standing the PS5 vertically could cause permanent damage. A recent report reveals that the PS5 suffers from an apparent design flaw that can lead to permanent damage when users leave it standing upright. PS5 users are advised not to stand their consoles upright, as doing so may cause permanent damage to the system's hardware. This is reportedly due to a design flaw related to the cooling system on PS5's accelerated processor unit. I honestly, so let me see the exact.
Has there been anything associated with the PS5 that hasn't been a goddamn dumpster fire at this point?
Well,
because it's like, what's first? The whole thing is like, oh, we created a video game that doesn't have enough processing chips to actually mass supply this whole thing. So we're gonna start reselling PS4 because we know the majority of you guys don't actually have a PS5, and now we're finding out even more design flaws.
Well, so it's weird. They said, however, doing so with the PS5 may be a bad idea, according to a report on Hololo.net. This is due to an apparent design flaw related to the liquid metal layer between the PS5's APU chip and the heatsink. The liquid metal is prone to leaking when the PS5 is left sitting upright for an extended period. When users stand the PS5 vertically, liquid metal may start to move or seep out. This inhibits the console's ability to manage heat coming from its APU, potentially damaging the processor. The liquid metal can also drip onto other sensitive components, causing a short circuit. This problem exists on both versions of the PS5. So, thank you so much, Scargut, for $2. Technically not dollars, £2. He says, has Sony even tested the goddamn console? So, look, personally, with this situation, guys, I built my own PC. So, I actually, put my processor on the motherboard. Then I had to put thermal paste. Now, I didn't put liquid metal thermal paste. The good thing about liquid, I didn't personally do it because I didn't feel like I needed to. But what standard thermal paste that I put on versus liquid metal thermal paste, the liquid metal thermal paste will keep your processor cooler. I don't know how much cooler, but that's the thing with it. Now, is it a little bit risky to use? From what I heard, slightly, but like the chances of the liquid metal dripping off, like when my basically my motherboard is placed vertically. So thank you, Jarius, for the sub. I appreciate it. So like I put my motherboard vertically in my rig, and then obviously the processor, then I have my cooler on it, and it's not gonna fucking leak out. The chances of this happening are very minor. Honestly, if this does happen, it's mostly because you fucked up in terms of how much thermal paste you put on there. Now, if you fucking put a glob of thermal paste, it's gonna leak out. Like if you don't put the right amount. Now, I have noticed when people did originally take apart the PS5 and they seen how much of the liquid metal thermal paste on it, I did notice. I'm like, that is a lot of thermal paste. But I didn't really like. Besides noticing that there seemed to be a lot, I thought it was like generous in a good way. So I'm like, okay, so they actually didn't go cheap with this. So your processor probably is going to be okay. So the chances of this happening would be probably because the liquid metal thermal paste was, applied like wrong or too much. And I don't feel like this is a flaw. Maybe like a deliberate design flaw. Maybe whatever they were doing, I don't know if a person applies this thermal paste or if a machine applies this thermal paste. If there is an issue where like too much is applied, I can see this happening. But if it's an actual like legitimate like fundamental built flaw that every PS5 is susceptible to this happening, I think that's highly unlikely. And to be honest, the PS5 has been out for like 3 years now? And this is now like reported, and I don't know how many issues have been reported.
It's been out for 3 years, but how long has it actually been functional?
So from what I've seen, and this is all anecdotal because we don't have an actual determination on like failure rate of PS5s.
Yeah, because Sony doesn't want to be sued.
Obviously, but if there's like an outcry of an issue, that can't be avoided if too many people are complaining. But from my anecdotal observation, it seems as though the PS5 is pretty susceptible to overheating. Now, with that though, it seems to be an easy fix to the user themselves to be able to fix this overheating issue. It seems as though the PS5 it's very easy for the PS5 to collect dust over time because of how open it is for airflow. So with airflow happening, dust is going to get into these crevices and areas and whatnot, and you will have to take an air can and clean it. And if you do that, it's going to work again. Now, my fundamental complaint with PlayStation, with Sony, with this situation is that, say if someone doesn't know that, because I mean, let's be real now, if you have a console and you only game on console, you don't fuck with PCs, you buy the console just so you can plug and play, a lot of people aren't going to know how to do this shit. Now me, I do take an air can to my PC because I know, like, you got to keep it clean to keep the dust off. I do clean the glass and stuff when it gets a little dusty. So, like, I do that. Now, console gamers, a lot of them don't do that. I don't know if you've heard the horror stories with GameStop where they'll bring in a dusty-ass fucking PS4 that has roaches coming out of it and shit. Like, that's some of the gamers that are out there, unfortunately. They don't like to clean their shit. So, these people end up calling Sony saying, oh, my PS5 is overheating and turning off. And what Sony does, because the Lemonade Kid told me this, so shout out to the Lemonade Kid. What Lemonade, he called Sony. He was like, my PS5 is overheating. Sony said, yeah, it's going to cost you $150 to get that fixed. She to send it in. And so me and TJ said, nah, fuck that. Get an air can and actually clean it, thoroughly. Clean out all the holes and shit. And when he did that himself, the PS5 works fine again. So essentially, Sony does this stupid thing where they're like, yeah, we'll charge you $150 to take an air can to your PS5 and then send it back to you. To me, that's a fucking scam. That's a problem. No, that's a problem.
The flip side of that too, where it's just like, we'll probably get like a bunch of like 50-year-old like soccer moms who don't know how to fix their son's PS5 asking, hey, this thing's not working, can you fix it? And they're probably like, Maybe we should just start charging people $150 just so we can blow some air in it and send it back, or we can make some money off of just dumb people. So that's probably what happened. So
Yeah, no, that's deliberately what they are doing in regards to it. So me, I don't think that this vertical PS5 issue is a problem because the chances of that happening is highly unlikely. Now, my issue is this other thing Sony's doing, which deliberately takes advantage of gamers' ignorance. So don't be ignorant, guys. Be smart. If your PS5 is overheating, buy an air can. Thoroughly spray your PS5 and it should be working again, unless there's a real problem. Then you will have to send it to Sony. But give Sony $150 just because you don't dust your PS5. Don't do that.
I want to go ahead and put out a legal disclaimer that, if you manage to damage your PS5 in the course of taking Cassie's advice about how to fix your GameCube, we are not legally liable for any damages to your gaming system that you may occur. So yeah, just throw that out there just so people don't get the wrong idea.
True. I mean, I appreciate that. You're always looking out, but
Yeah.
I will say this: if you
It'd be
do
like,
somehow,
no, Your Honor, the girl on YouTube said all I have to do was spray the can into the PS5.
now I will say
It
this:
just turned green.
if a motherfucker actually manages to destroy their PS5 by using a can of air to blow air into the PS5, that is a skill all on its own. You are a professional at destroying things using virtually almost nothing, using air. So if you manage to do that, then goddamn, that's pretty crazy.
Don't underestimate stupidity. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, but when it comes to this, guys, don't be afraid to put your PS5 vertically if that's how, your setup is. I highly doubt that's going to be an issue. The chances of it being an issue is minor. Like I said, we're like 3 years into the PS5 life cycle, and now there's like a couple of instances that this had. Like, get the fuck out of here. I have one PS5. My main PS5 that I use all the time is laid horizontally because of my TV stand. If I put it vertically, it would basically be right in front of my TV, and I don't want to have that. But my other PS5 that I do stream with occasionally, that's standing vertically because I have it like in a corner. I can't lay it down horizontally because the PS5 is retarded in size. But we'll see which one dies first. I think likely it'll be the one that's laid horizontally because I just use that one way more. But we shall see. 3 years and this happening, I don't think it's a serious issue. Don't be afraid, guys. And also, don't buy my Fantastic Ranch. It fucking sucks. I thought it would be perfect to include that in this live stream since we're talking about that My Little Pony weirdo that likes to try and get people canceled.
Oh, yeah. All
Yes.
those people in that weirdo community.
Yes, I do have funnies here. So
Yeah.
oh god, we just gotta laugh because if we don't laugh, we'll just be angry. But one of my homies, Anthony, dude I've been following for a long time, he's a good dude. He said the person calling you a quote unquote man baby over the internet, which is the Purple Tinker, the fucking limited run controversy. And I said,
Yeah. The mentally ill person.
I wanted Oz not to be here when I said this because obviously Oznot is a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan. And I was like, dude is a what if Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Pitchford had a test tube baby?
Yep.
That's literally what this motherfucker looks like.
We're letting these people run our society, which is the sad part.
Yeah, honestly, it's insane what is like how this went down. Limited Run claims to have done investigation. All they investigated was their employee and not necessarily what the person that made this big stink, who they are, and what is their gain from this. They didn't do any of that. And because of that
investigation. This is their investigation. You follow libs of TikTok, you're fired. Okay, lawsuit.
I hope that she does have a lawsuit. She was actually, I don't know if you were watching the stream earlier, she was in the chat. She was like, hey, I really appreciate you. I think that your coverage of this is like one of the best out here. And I was very humbled by that. It was really cool.
Yeah, whatever, simp.
Yeah, yes, I will simp for Carolyn because she did nothing wrong and we must defend her. Defend her. But honestly,
about these psychopaths.
I genuinely feel bad. It's fucked up because that's something that can happen to any of us. Like, really. And that's the thing that I really want to hit home. It could happen to you, it could happen to your family member, it could happen to your best friend. Like, this is how ridiculous it is. Things have become. Also, hold on, I got another funny here. This one's a good one. This one is, so with this whole controversy in regards to the PS5, the best thing to come out of this whole bullshit ass PS5 vertical controversy is this meme right here. So shout out to Mr. Bushido N7, homie I follow on Twitter. He said he was completely dead after seeing this meme, and it's the Terminator 2 scene, and basically John Connor's like, ask mom if she put my PS5 on its side, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, did you put Johnny's PS5 on its side? And then the foster mom says, no, I stood it vertically, and then Arnold hangs up the phone and is like, your PS5 is dead.
Yep. It's like, you know, you paid $700 for something that couldn't even withstand gravity.
Well, technically it's 500. No shit, like, that made this bullshit controversy entirely worth it for me. I was just this meme alone. I had to send it to the chat on Discords and shit, so that was a good one. So if anything good came out of that meme was what came.
Yep, this is what you're spending multiple thousands of dollars on, all for social status, a fucking thing that doesn't even work the way it's goddamn fucking supposed to.
Sad realities. I mean, look, man, you remember 360 with the red ring? That was big. That was where, like, Microsoft got sued for that, and they had to fix all the 360s that would get red ring. And which is crazy that they didn't fix that situation sooner by changing the way the design. Like, when you actually look into the design of 360, and 360 was one of my all-time favorite consoles. So, you know, it sucks that I have to say this, but like, the 360 was so fundamentally flawed in terms of its design. Like, just the way the motherboard is in that system. If it gets too hot, the motherboard actually starts to, like, bend. And when it bends, that's what's, like, causing the red ring to start to happen situation.
I remember the red ring of death days. Those were good days.
Good days. You know how many fucking... I went through, like, 4 360s.
Oh, really? You know how many PS3s I went through? One. The same one I have for the last 15 years, and it still runs.
I would have had a year 1 PS3 still if I didn't have, like, a mini flood in my basement.
Oh yeah, let's blame the flooding in the basement. Okay.
Nah, I mean, like, look, hey, my PS5 went out swimming, so that it wasn't on its fault. That wasn't his fault. But I do have the super slim PS3, so, and it's still kicking. I actually need a new controller though. I dogged the shit out of my PS3 controller. But to be fair, I had this PS3 since like 2014. So it's definitely been a minute. Hold on, let me close the door since the dog is coming here. I don't want him to eat Ziggy.
Bite him in the face.
Man, if Blue bit Ziggy, he would bite him whole. Yeah, man, my PS3 Slim still works. It's just that I really dog the shit. Like, I was playing everything on that controller, from Mortal Kombat 9 to shooters to a bunch of other fucking fighting games. Like, everything in the book, bro.
I know this is slightly off topic before we move on to our next topic here, but you ever seen the show Beverly Hills 90210?
No. I know of it, but I've never actually watched it.
So essentially what happened here is a show about high school. It went on for like 10 years. I don't know why, but apparently it was like the biggest show of the 1990s. Everyone in the show looks good, like the first 4-ish seasons. And it seems like the second that everyone graduated high school, they all simultaneously hit the wall. And I mean hard. Like, there was like structural damage to that wall.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, like, that. So this is like, what, the 80s you were saying?
Oh, this is 1990. So
90s, gotcha.
Yeah. Early
I mean,
90s.
they were doing like contouring makeup and all that shit to hide all your faults when you start to age. So
Oh yeah.
they were doing
Yeah.
standard levels of makeup.
They put a Marvel budget in between making some of these chicks look good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. But I do have something nice to show you guys, and you've played Mortal Kombat 3, I'm assuming, right, Society?
I played Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 because it's the GOAT.
Yeah, I played Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which most people say is garbage, but that is still my favorite Mortal Kombat of all time. And
The only difference between Trilogy is that you can play as like Johnny Cage or like Goro or something like that. That's really the only true difference between that game
I heard
and
it's like
Ultimate 3.
more imbalanced than Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was fucking like 6 years old, bro. I was just happy to be playing as a character that was a knockoff fucking Bruce Lee. But you guys know that I do love Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and this is Mortal Kombat Trilogy's Sonya Blade is my favorite Sonya Blade, and it's played. The body model is Carrie Hoskins as Sonya Blade, and yeah, she signed this for me, and she's a very nice individual. Like she's actually like super down to earth, and
She's still hot.
she is still very beautiful. Matter of fact, she has barely changed at all. So I do have a picture that someone did post, and they were just saying that that she will always be the true Sonya Blade, and she honestly has not changed barely at all. Like she always had like a super amazing figure, and she still does, and she's genuinely like a beautiful lady, and she's like in her 50s now. Mind you, this is like the original Mortal Kombat 3 came out in 95. I was like 2 to 3 years old. Okay, so
I could tell you this much: she looks far better now in her 50s than some of these chicks on 91210 did when they were in their 20s.
pretty much, like, honestly, she's genuinely beautiful. She's aged like fine wine. I was a toddler when she did Mortal Kombat 3, and I became a whole other human being as time has went on. I went from a toddler to a adult, and this individual has not changed at all. And I believe when she did Mortal Kombat 3, I think she was like 22 years old. So, uh, good on her, man. She's fucking awesome. I love, like, Sonya Blade's style in Mortal Kombat 3, her look was just fucking awesome. Like, the whole aerobics outfit with the headband, like, bro. That is the ultimate Sonya Blade for me. She's fucking awesome. She continues to be awesome. So, that's my Sonya Blade, and she's still a bad bitch, and big shout out to Carrie Hoskins. She's awesome. Hey, Fatal Trade, what's good, bro?
She reminds me of Lacey Evans in that picture for some reason.
I would say she does look better than Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans isn't ugly though by any means.
Or not fucking say she's ugly. Fucking send
you
a
fucking
fucking rock.
yeah.
Send you a fucking rock.
Simping, huh? Big simping. Okay, for Lacey Evans.
Then that rock, I'm gonna have instructions that says hit yourself with it. I expect you to follow through.
You know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. But yes, Carrie Hoskins for the win. She's a real one. She also did she was also one of the cheerleaders in NBA Jam. So she was
really?
Yeah, she was actually involved in a few video games, which is pretty cool. And she's one of those people that's thankful to have been involved. You know, like you know how like a lot of these fucking women nowadays, like they get their break, and you know obviously their in is that they're very attractive, and then when they pass their prime they fucking cry that they were sexualized. No, Carrie Hoskins is very thankful to have been a part of Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam, and she's mad down to earth and chill, and she actually likes to talk to the gaming community. She's really cool. I've talked to her on Instagram. I ordered that signed picture that she mailed out to me, and very class act. So big shout out to her. Absolutely love her. Reserve for life. What's good with you, bro? Everything's cool here. Can't complain. Hope all is well with you. And yeah, big shout out to her. So that's cool. Let me get rid of this here, and that's done. But let me see. What are we going to talk about? Are we going to really deep dive into? Nah. Well, I just do want to say I want to give an update on this limited run situation. Oh yeah, Damon's Ghost, Scarlett Johansson. There's a long list of most of the time annoying ass white women who've hit the wall and then complain that I was sexualized when I was in my 20s. Like, bruh. Ain't no one trying to do
it's
that.
always the same story too. They always complain that they were sexualized after people stopped sexualizing them.
Yeah, exactly.
It becomes a problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you chose to do that, and that's your in, and you did your thing. Like, you used that to your advantage. That, like, you use your strengths to your advantage. Don't cry about it later. It's just it's stupid stuff, man. Like, just own it. Like that. The chick that played Princess Leia, like people would ask her, like, are you upset that you got sexualized in Star Wars episode, what is it, 6 now technically, and for wearing the slave Leia outfit? She's like, no, it's just a fucking character, it's fake. Like, I had fun with it. And it's like, why do people just want to make everything an issue?
No, they want you
Carrie
to
Fisher.
adopt their dogma. So it's like, yeah, weren't you totally offended that they made you wear that costume? It's like, no. No. It's like, oh, you're an sexualized misogynist, or that's something, right? It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like, it's pathetic. Hit the wall, the bed closed. Demon's Ghost said. And yeah, it's Carrie Fisher. Berserk Life says, I bought a PS5 console. I can't wait for the Stellar Blade video game this year. So you recently got the PS5? If so, congratulations. And a lot of people are calling that game Stellar Yams. So, because apparently they really like the main characters behind. So shout out to Stellar Yams. I'm going to support it because I love hack and slash games. And apparently the devs have not caved to pressure to censor the character. And yes, Neozoic, indeed. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. It's sad that there aren't more people like her. Minus doing drugs, which probably likely led to,
you don't want to be
a heart attack situation.
Like her.
Yeah, exactly. Just be down to earth like her. Don't do drugs like her. Don't make poke finger like a normal thing in your life.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know this in regards to the limited run situation. The person that started the trouble deleted their Twitter for a while, and then like yesterday or some shit, they came back.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, and so they came back to immediately defend their shitty character, and they literally posted a whole PDF. And the thing is, if you click on it, you get a warning, this link may be unsafe. And I just thought it was hilarious that this person like screenshotted that warning. And then that sounds about par for the course from you, since clearly this person seems to be a very unsafe individual given accusations against them that the internet has uncovered over time. And this is the type of loser that limited runs listens to. I'm not clicking on it because I don't trust this motherfucker. Better safe than sorry situation. But basically they're trying to defend their character, what character they do have. But from what I've heard, this person really, really is like scum of the earth levels of bullshit. I did go over it on a video on the channel. I think it's my most recent video. But I'm trying to see. This person is a Twitter addict. Like, they had to come here and post a giant PDF basically fighting all the things that they were accused of, because Twitter seems to be their life. Like, honestly, this bitch does not stop. It's really annoying.
Oh, she's like Adam Sessler.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're going to get into his ass in a little bit, but yeah, it's like, I have issued a statement regarding recent events. This constitutes my sole statement to the media. Like, like, honestly, I feel like they actually kind of like this attention, even though it's some of the worst, even though they have to fight the bullshit. Like, if you want to implement cancel culture, just know that it can happen just as easily to you. And like, here we just have all sorts of stuff of them trying to defend their character, trying to defend the concept of a 14-year-old. Like, basically they made tweets back in the day of saying like a 14-year-old should have a right to their own sexual ventures, That was basically how to sum up what they were saying, and they're even trying to dispute that. But yeah, like honestly, nobody wants to hear it. If you want to implement cancel culture, just know that you are easily as susceptible to it. I'm against cancel culture, but to the people that want to make it a thing and normalize it and use it to their advantage, I think that you deserve it harder. So, hey, it's whatever. And yeah, to Fatal Trade, you're right. Like, to some people, Twitter is real life, and this person with their tweeting habits, it really does seem like Twitter is real life for them. And can't relate at the end of the day. But yeah, cancel culture really does suck. Especially when it's used for simple things, just to the level of who you follow on Twitter. Like that's
I love it when the jackasses come out and say, "Oh, cancel culture doesn't exist. It's not a real thing." And then when you ask them to explain, they always bring up some guy who they haven't canceled yet. Not for a lack of trying, by the way. It's
yeah.
like, well, Joe Rogan is still allowed to speak, so that proves cancel culture doesn't exist. So because you guys haven't canceled him yet, that's your proof. Like, okay, whatever you say, jackasses.
Yeah, it's like they bring up like the most socially powerful people out there. Like Joe Rogan has a lot of people that support him. Like you fuck with Joe Rogan, like people are gonna be out for your heads. But what, like, you know, the perfect example is Carolyn, who worked for Limited Run. She's just a regular average Joe that had a decent job at Limited Run, and from what I've heard, she was very passionate about this job. She really, like, her profile pictures, her wearing a Limited Run hoodie. So like you could tell that this was like quite likely a dream job for her, something that she's very happy at. She's a regular average person that was fired from Limited Run over a bullshit hate campaign from this fucking loser right here. So like cancel culture may not exist for someone like Joe Rogan because he is so powerful, he's so well known. Like it's very hard to cancel someone like that. But to someone like a Carolyn, to someone like me, someone like you, society, we are very susceptible to that because the hate mobs are out there. And guess what? Like the average company just doesn't, they don't mind just cutting ties with you. Like it's not a big deal for them. It's a big deal for us because, you know, when we get fired from our job, you know, that's fucked up. Like I was laid off last year, and given like, you know, it wasn't dramatic by any means. I kind of saw it coming, but like still, like it hurts. Like you're basically told like your work is not, it is not valid here. Like your time wasn't worth anything, and we can just let you go like this. Like it hurts us regular average people, and we are very much susceptible to this stuff happening. That's why I'm completely against it. And when people like this want to try and cancel someone like Carolyn, like obviously I'm gonna say something about it because it's bullshit, especially when in regards to a company that I've been very, like, I've bought a lot of stuff from Limited Run. Like I have quite a decent Limited Run collection. Not the biggest Limited Run collection, but I have quite a lot of games that I bought from Limited Run because they're one of the few companies that do help to get indie games physically on cartridge or disc. Like that's a great thing that they do. And unfortunately, Limited Run is, the CEO is a fucking woke loser. Like honestly, that's just, it is what it is. Like this person believes that they shouldn't be canceled for like his beliefs, but people that have opposing beliefs from his should be. That's literally what they imply. Like my thoughts are right and your thoughts are wrong. My thoughts should be defended and your thoughts should not. Like that's the type of person that they are. And I'm just saying, I just want the playing to be an even playing field. That's all I want. I don't want people that have different beliefs for me to be canceled. I want them to tell me what their beliefs are so I can determine whether they're fucking stupid or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I am.
You
I
know,
just want to
these
even
people
play
have
field.
the minds of communists, so they believe in snuffing out their competition by any means necessary. So
Yeah, I do notice a lot of people are super fucking spiteful. Like genuinely, these people are so fucking spiteful. They have nothing but hate in their heart, and that to me, I can never relate. You know, I get mad, I get upset, but I don't go through my life with hate in my heart. These people live on Twitter, so naturally, like they find a lot of fuel to just keep them on a fucking hate train. So to me, at some point, like I take Twitter breaks. Sometimes I just post what I got going on Twitter and I'm out. But I don't really like. To me, Twitter is just a silly like pastime. I don't take it that seriously, and you shouldn't. A lot of these people, unfortunately, do take Twitter very seriously. It's not good. It's
Well,
just
I mean, there's a
very
lot
weird
of things in their
situation.
life that they take very seriously that isn't very good, but this is how we got here.
Yep, just a lot of idealistic people that want to live on Twitter. That's what it
Yeah.
boils down to.
A quick little sidebar here.
Yep.
In-N-Out just announced that they're bringing In-N-Out Burger to Tennessee, which is great until you find out that they won't be here until 2026, which is almost like, then why are you even telling me about this?
It's like how when video games get announced like 5 years before they actually come out.
Yeah. Or like when Marvel talks about, hey, you're going to get a Fantastic Four movie in 5 years. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let's just start making plans right now.
Yeah, or like when DC announced that The Rock was gonna play Black Adam, and it didn't come to fruition until like a decade later. And then when it came out, it was shit.
Yep, and then they was like, nope, don't come back.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like I don't know, man. They just want to get people hyped. I've never had In-N-Out Burger, but I live on the East Coast, so I don't know if I'll ever have In-N-Out Burger. So I don't know if it's worth it. I've gotten mixed opinions on it. Some people say it's overrated. Some people say it's legit.
Well, for someone who's born and raised in the area that had In-N-Out Burger, I can definitely tell you that those people who say it's shit is completely full of shit.
Okay. So good all one bay says have a look at super rare games. So I know of super rare games. I don't think I've bought from super rare games, but the positive is their games are shipped immediately. That is a definite big plus. Another company that I have bought from is Strictly Limited. They do not ship immediately. It's the same sort of weight as Limited Run. And the other company that I've purchased from is Special Reserve Games. They also have a weight, but sometimes they'll give you a digital. So like sometimes you'll buy the physical game and they'll give you a digital code sometimes as well. So that I thought was really cool from their company. So the game comes out, I get the code the day the game comes out, and I just wait for my physical copy whenever it comes. So I can play the game immediately, and I also have 2 copies of the game, a physical copy and a digital copy, which is kind of like, that's a positive for me because that's kind of how I go about gaming nowadays. Like I'll buy a physical copy, but then I'll also have a digital copy in like Steam since PC gaming's pretty much all digital at this point. So yeah, Iman says In-N-Out is alright. So but yeah, there's definitely alternatives to Limited Run. I will say that Limited Run has the biggest, like, they're like the biggest company that is for physical media, that goes out of their way to support physical media. So that's the shitty thing about it. But hopefully companies like indie devs notice that, okay, Limited Run is on some weird shit and it might affect our ability to sell products, so if we're gonna jump ship. That sometimes happens, and they'll probably hopefully go somewhere else. Obviously it's not going to happen for every game, but hopefully that they do recognize that for their own sake, because I do want these indie devs to thrive and prosper. But
Yep.
yeah, I guess we can move to the last general topic here, which is Adam Sessler's Meltdown.
Oh boy, was it a meltdown.
Yo, it just did not stop. It was like, I don't want to say the gift that keeps on giving, because I'd rather him act like a normal human being, but he just refuses to. And
he's been unhinged for quite some time. Like, this isn't something that just developed in the last couple of weeks. He's been like this for a good long while, to the point where the word was that when G4 went down the first time, all the way back in like 2011, somewhere around that he was fired because of his drug problem, and it's just continued to snowball, and now the snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I don't know what he thinks he has to gain from this. I just, like, for me, you know that I tweeted out, like, I'm taking a Twitter break, and I deleted the Twitter app, because, like, no one's going to catch me at my worst on Twitter. Like, I'm the type of person, like, when I'm at my worst, you're not gonna know because that's just how I roll. I don't want my enemy to know that I'm weak. That's just how I roll. So like I will delete Twitter, and I deleted that shit for like 4 or 5 days until I was feeling cool, and I re-downloaded it, and now I'm fine. So that's just how I roll. Adam Sessler, when he's clearly in a mood, he lets everyone on Twitter know that. And because of that, like he attracts people that deliberately want to antagonize him. And don't give your enemy a sign that you are weak. And that's why like this just keeps snowballing because
Well, his whole existence is weakness. All he does is sitting there and whine all day about anyone who's like fucking write a fucking Karl Marx on Twitter all day. So people, it's like, yeah, let's just start fucking with this guy because he's annoying. We don't like him anyway. He doesn't like us, so fuck him.
yeah, and it's just crazy, bro. Like he's blocked people that never fuck with anybody. Like Erica's for the win is a YouTuber. She's mad chill. She doesn't really fuck with anyone. Like she just plays her games, and she has her certain particular games that she loves talking about, like the Dark Souls series, and she also likes playing Fortnite. She's mad cool. No problems with this person. I never see her having like beef with anyone. And he blocked her. Him and RGT85 got into this whole fucking like this back and forth, bro. And it's like I know RGT, he kind of, I'll give RGT props. Like he's the type of dude, he will actually at times have a genuine opinion about something. So like he's not, I won't say he's like always has his own opinion, but he's not he's not necessarily a fence sitter type of dude, which I can appreciate. Yo, what's good, TJ? How's it going, bro?
Yo,
Yeah, we just doing a little live stream to hang out with the homies, since this is like I just haven't live streamed in a while, so just wanted to hang out with everyone, and crazy shit's been going on, so we just talking about it generally. But yeah, we're talking about this whole Adam Sessler debacle, and him and RGT85 like had like a whole back and forth on it. And I was just saying, like, Adam Sessler gets trolls because he lets his enemy know that he's in a weak emotional disposition. And when you do that, you automatically lose.
yeah, he's an emotional man.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Hey,
just,
look, man, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I need you emotional men to stop wearing a beard. You're putting a shame to it. Like me as myself, as a manly man with a manly beard that's luxurious and beautiful, stop disrespecting the beard. If you a sissy, if you can't handle your emotions like a real man, yo, shave that off, man.
We don't have to worry about it because guys like him also have to wear like the top hat / fedora to go along with the beard to let you know they're bitch made.
Right.
yeah,
Like,
it's true.
and his panties get wet because they see like a pink-haired trans woman in a game. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I will say this, when it comes to Adam Sessler, man, like he's had like crazy past. Like people really liked him because on G4 back in the day, like he was a relatively respectable dude. He was on X Play with Morgan Webb, and they were a really good team. They were a really good duo. A lot of us gamers at the time, like we didn't have many avenues to find other people talking about gaming on a main stage, but G4 was that main stage that a lot of us can go to find out about sneak peeks of games, or generally whether a game is good or bad. Like this is like early, like way back in the day, early
X Play hit it big, like back in like it was like 2002, 2003, like around that time, where the whole format to the show was that they were just going to do funny, quirky video game reviews that people found to be entertaining, and that was kind of the format of the show that everyone liked. And it was him, and it was Morgan Webb. I know they did like extended play like before then, where they were trying to be a little more serious, and that shit never really got over. So when they went to like the entertainment route, people like liked it, and it was a good show for a few years. Then I think it was around 2006 they decided, no, we want to be the serious video game journalist people again. So then they changed the entire format of the show, and then it was like, okay, well, this shit isn't really as good as it used to be anymore. Then cocaine happened, and it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, guys. Look, man, avoid having addictions of any kind. That's what I say, especially in regards to like hard drugs, man. Do not get addicted to hard drugs. Avoid having any addictions at all. I know it's very, very hard, but just think of it this way: if you do hard drugs, you end up like Adam Sessler. You end up a almost 50-year-old, really depressed, angry person. And
Yeah.
Notice how Morgan Webb has just completely laid low throughout this entire thing. I mean, way low, to the point where she don't even post on like social media anymore.
yeah, I don't blame
he's
her.
a weirdo, man. I lost respect for dude when that whole like God of War trophy debacle happened, and then they changed it because he got his clit ring caught in his zipper. Like, I really don't like this dude at all. Like,
Yeah.
after that, I was done with him.
Big Ox, excuse me, 666 says, thank you for calling out Purple Tinker with his weird stuff. I knew something was up about that person, so thank you. Yo, of course, man. Honestly, it's just what's right. You know, like the thing that this person essentially destroyed someone's livelihood just because they didn't agree with their politics or what they believe to be this person's politics. And what's crazy is that, like, look, on my Twitter account, I follow both people that I absolutely hate and people that I like. That just comes with the territory of being well informed all around in regards to the game, the entertainment space. That's something that I have to do because I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I want to be informed. Even the people that I hate, I want to see what they're saying about certain things. That just comes with the territory. So who knows if Kara, the individual who was fired from Live Run, who knows if she's even like truly supportive of these people that she was fired for following. We don't know. She hasn't really said anything in regards to that. She could just be following all sides of the spectrum in the political spectrum or not. Like, and what's so wrong with that? Like, honestly, this person, what they did was ridiculous, and it affects us all. If this is the standard that you can lose your job for, you know, that's crazy. That's all you need to do to lose your livelihood.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And then the other thing too is that, you know, you gotta be, you know, weary about who your employers are as well, because if your employers are all in on that woke bullshit, maybe it's a good idea to maybe get a step ahead of them and find somewhere else that's not run is by mentally insane people before they have a chance to fuck you over.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's sad that you have to think that way. You would think that your contributions to your company are enough to solidify your job position, but no, that's not the case. You have to actually be concerned about your employer's politics and aspirations politically, and I don't want it to be that way. I just feel as though if you're a hard worker, you do your job.
We don't want it to be that way, but they're making it that way. So you can either, you know, be blindsided by it or prepare for it, because they're going to push it one way or another. I mean, that's just the way that these people roll.
Yeah, and it's sad that's the case. Yo, what's good, Oz? How you been, bro? We've been waiting for you.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. No worries, bro.
I was doing stream some results. My bad.
You're doing what?
I was doing stream some results.
Oh, I got you. Oh shit! Look at you! Look at you! I got you, fam. But we were just talking a little bit about. Well, we're basically going into the topic of Adam Sessler. You know who Adam Sessler is, right? Yeah. Did you see his insane Twitter meltdown over the past couple of days? Oof, it's bad.
It's kind of like he felt like a has-been to me.
Yeah, like honestly, that's really what he is. Like, he used to be a well-respected person in the gaming space that, you know, part of X-Play, part of G4, like, he was likable back then.
He was cool. He had really cool, like, opinions on things and, like, actually had a lot of insight. But now he's just lost his fucking mind. He looks like the Keebler Elf.
That's what happens when you know, let chlamydia go untreated for a number of years. It's just, you know, it festers into whatever this is.
Damn.
It's like venom. It just comes all over your body.
Yeah, right.
You know, someone on Twitter told him that your soul is more black than your wife's boyfriend. Yes.
Ouch.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Hey, that's what he let me know. RuPaul has an app game. One jump out of a window. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's called
Yeah,
RuPaul Drag Race.
I almost did a story about that this week for the Barroom podcast, because it does seem like RuPaul's kind of like at the head of this like weaponizing and re-engineering world society, because apparently they have like drag race shows now in like 200 countries, and with everything going on, especially with the kids now, you have to think, okay, is this like some kind of like CIA op that we're all witnessing right now? Because this doesn't feel quite natural. Let's just put it that way.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's gotten
it's
weird.
weird. That is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, honestly, I don't really know anything about the whole drag race thing. I know that there's been a big protest like recently. I think today even of like in New York with the whole drag queen story time. And
Mhm.
like honestly, bro, like the one thing I do know about drag queen related things is that these men dress up as women in a very sexualized manner. That
Yeah.
is no space for a child to be in.
Yeah, and now they're trying to do like this Jedi mind trick where they're trying to present to you, oh no, now all this stuff is just completely family friendly entertainment. To come take your kids, especially your kids. We really want your kids now. Notice while all of these drag shows are now just aimed specifically at children. It's kind of weird how that happens.
Yeah. Neozoic has a question. Who is worse, Adam Sessler or CM Punk? The worst has been, huh?
Well, at
I
least
would
CM Punk
say
has a hot wife.
Sessler on the fact that at least CM Punk doesn't spend his entire life on Twitter bitching at people. And maybe if Punk was a little less successful, he would probably be Adam Sessler. But just the fact that Sessler seems a bit more unhinged than Punk, then I'll have to give it to Sessler.
Yeah, I don't
Punk's
know
still
who
a
to
piece of shit
choose.
though too. So
At the end of the day, they both look like they do heroin. So
yeah.
Yeah, they do look like junkies, which is hilarious because CM Punk is like the straight edge dude. But
Well, he claims he's the straight edge dude. I mean, he also claimed that
supposedly,
once upon a time that he trained in Muay Thai. Then we all saw how his UFC run ended. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, admittedly, that was fucking bad. I mean, but it's very memorable. I will say, if I could say one positive thing about CM Punk's UFC run, it was quite memorable. But
yeah.
Oz also brings up a good point. One point to CM Punk being that his wife is very attractive and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So
No.
And really
Yeah.
fucking crazy. She's really fucking stupid and crazy.
yeah, at least
I
she
mean, well,
admits to being
she's
crazy though.
Boricua, so yeah.
Exactly. It's one of those things where Puerto Rican, it kind of comes with the territory being crazy. And I mean, if you're a Puerto Rican, especially from the Bronx, then you're also likely very, very stupid. Just saying.
Yeah, except not me, but yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely an outlier. It's mostly women that are susceptible to being super stupid if they're Puerto Rican from the Bronx. I'm just saying. But I do want to get into this Twitter spout between RGT85 and Adam Sessler, because RGT85 just said fucking straight up called him out. He said, I have a theory on this. Adam Sessler's a fucking clown. And Adam Sessler's like, cool story, bro. I'll take it under consideration while I'm explaining to gamers are the public lice of society. Maybe I'll wear a red nose. And it's like, bro, like then RGT was just like, okay, so you're calling yourself like that
Fucking
public
clown.
lice, and then fucking Adam Sessler, like his response when RGT is just like, so you're calling yourself that too because you're technically a gamer. Adam Sessler's just like, just you and yours. Never was a gamer myself. Don't overthink this, fuck up. And it's just like, bro, how are you gonna say that you're technically not a gamer? And this goes to like honestly, the rant that brought me back to YouTube after I'd taken a 3-month hiatus was like people trying to redefine what a gamer is. If you play video games, you like video games, you play video games, you are a gamer. There's no like ifs, ands, or buts about it. Adam Sessler, from what I've seen, plays video games. He's been in the gaming space. You are a gamer. So all the shit that you're trying to say that gamers are, you're part of that culture. And unless like, honestly, the next thing I want to see on Adam Sessler's YouTube, his Twitter, is him smashing all his game consoles. If you do that and you say I retire from being a gamer, then I'll accept that. But unless he does that, bro, you are all the shit that you say that we are. And look, man, I don't think it's fair to put all gamers into like any sort of space, because there's gamers that are good people and there's gamers that are shitty human beings that I would rather die than be affiliated with. So just the fact that he's kind of just having all this crazy outlash or backlash, and he just has this disdain for gaming. So it's like, get the fuck out of this space. And it's like, if he does get the fuck out of this space, then what is he gonna do? First off, everyone knows that he's unhinged because of his Twitter rants. Like, he clearly, he's not the type of guy you can depend on to have a squeaky clean public image, because he clearly shows that he can't do that. He's too unhinged.
Nope.
He has a problem. So, I mean, you can get out of gaming and go do something else, but what the fuck are you gonna do? No one's gonna hire you. What are you gonna work at Walmart? In the front, just say welcome to Walmart all day? Is that what Adam Sessler's next job is gonna be?
Yeah, let's be honest. Sessler's story is probably gonna end hanging from a closet. Let's just be.
Dang. Well, I would hope
I wonder
not.
if he'll.
I don't
I
wish
wonder if
that.
he'll.
What'd you say, Oz?
Nah, he'll make himself 9 out of 10.
Oh my god.
9 out of 10.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I'd rather watch him cry on Twitter than hear about him having done any form of self-harm or harm anyone else. Because, like, I don't know if you noticed, but modern day, like, self-harm attempts seem to be the type of attempts in which put other people's lives in serious jeopardy, which I think you're like the scum of the earth if you do shit like that. So fuck you.
Yeah,
if you
don't fucking do a mixed skillet if you're gonna take yourself out, you fucking pussy.
Pretty much. But honestly, I don't know what the hell Adam Sessler is getting at when he tries to tell everyone that he's not a gamer while also shitting on gamers. I know RGT 85 did a video just talking about this shit. But yeah, like, how many times is Adam Sessler going to do this? It's like, just unfollow everyone involved in gaming and just move on. Or delete your Twitter. I think that's the best thing. If I can give Adam Sessler any advice, obviously you tell me to go fuck myself if, I told him this advice. Yeah. Which, I mean, is fine, if that's going to trigger you. Like, honestly, just delete Twitter, bro. Like, you cannot handle it. You're not mature enough. And that's fine. And look, I don't want gaming or gamers, I don't want gaming to become, the mature space where everyone acts like an adult. That's not what gaming is.
Here's my advice for you, Adam Sessler. Expect the light socket with a fork. How about that? I advise you to expect that. If you prefer a knife, you can use a knife too, but I think a fork is a little more practical.
Jesus. Yeah, this dude just needs to get off of social media. He clearly can't handle it. The fact that he's as well known as he is in the gaming space, trolls are going to go after you. That's just a part of it. And the fact that you feed into it, like, they know that this shit fucks with you, means that the trolls are going to go after you even more. So, wow. Like, just stop, bro. Just stop being involved on Twitter. It's like,
I mean, like I said, at this point, I just don't have any sympathy for him. I mean, he's pretty much burned his bridges with everyone who's ever known him at this point, and that's your own fault. So you want to keep doubling down on that shit, then by all means.
Yeah, it's weird because he was also saying, like, he's also complaining that that now everyone can get a blue check mark, and I'm just like, so, like, are you having a meltdown because now gamers can have a blue check mark like you, and now you feel less important because of that? Because there's some people out there that genuinely feel like that blue check mark before, like, you can buy it, like, made them special. I think Adam Sessler genuinely thought he was special because he had a blue check mark over, like, all of us regular people. And I don't have a blue check mark. Honestly, I'm not really for or against getting Twitter Blue. It's one of those things. If you want to get it, then hey, so be it. If not, it's, whatever. I haven't gotten it yet.
Uh-oh. We
What?
got some breaking news here. You might want to get a little notice here.
Oh yeah, what's
Stephanie
that?
McMahon has stepped
Listening.
down.
Yep, Stephanie McMahon has stepped down from WWE. She has officially resigned, and Vince McMahon has taken over her position.
So, like, is she out entirely? Hold on, let's bring this
Looks
up.
like she's
course she is.
out entirely.
Damn. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
She was a Sony
She
for
was-
spot for her dad.
She was co-CEO with Nick Khan, and now she's officially gone.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tatsusama, for the super chat of $5. I'm not sure what type of currency that is, but thank you so much. He says, "Yo, what's good with you, bro? Hope all is well. I really appreciate you." And yeah, I mean, fuck it. Let's look at this situation because this is getting crazy in regards to WWE.
Yeah, this is something we'll definitely talk about tonight. But I do want to point out one thing that I think a lot of people have been burying the lead on is that there's been rumors for about the last couple of years that Stephanie and Triple H, their marriage has kind of been on rocky terms here over the last couple of years. And they haven't said anything publicly, obviously, but there's been a lot of talk about it behind the scenes. And I do find it very interesting that Stephanie would step down and walk away from the company, but not Triple H. Now, Triple H might decide to step down here in the next few hours, next few days, but I do find that just a little bit interesting that only she's gone and not him. Because the note says that he's staying.
Yeah.
So Triple H isn't leaving, it's just her.
Wow. Yeah, Stephanie McMahon, she tweeted, "Then now forever together, WWE Universe. About 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I've had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position okay, that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I'm grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then now, forever together. That's interesting to say the least. It's definitely, I don't know, man. Like, it's just unprecedented times for like almost all of entertainment. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. But
well, here's what I think is happening here too, because there's some other people who are probably looking at selling. Is that, remember that whole global recession that people have been saying for the last 6 months that we're not in because we had an election and we had to pretend like everything was all hunky dory and everything was perfectly fine. Well, coming up very soon here, that's not going to be the case, and things are actually going to get much worse before it gets any better. So I think the guys who realizes that their let's just say their companies are maybe a little more overinflated right now with some of the things that are going on, they're trying to get out while the getting is good. They're trying to cash out while they're on top before having to negotiate with companies who may not be doing very well as far as cash goes in the near future about getting more money for media rights. So yeah.
Yeah, honestly, given how bad the economy seems to be, it probably, a lot of people are just like, yeah, we need to get out while the going is good. And I'm surprised a lot of these companies haven't done that like already, or maybe they have and we just don't know it. Who knows? Or we just haven't been paying attention. That's a big thing, man. Like, there's so much stuff that's going on in the world just to mask like the things that they don't want us to see.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
So here's the current betting odds on who can buy WWE moving forward here. Now, obviously, Comcast, NBC Universal is the front runner. I do believe that they will eventually sell to Comcast. But if Comcast, for whatever reason, doesn't decide to buy WWE, then your next top contenders would be Disney's on this list right now. But I honestly don't believe Disney's in the running because they have major cash flow issues. I mean, if you're talking about selling ESPN and ABC, I don't see any scenario where you're going to buy WWE at this point. So I think that's completely out the window with Disney. Endeavor is very interesting because Endeavor is the company that owns the UFC. And can you imagine Dana White being involved in the company that now owns the WWE? That could be interesting. Amazon's being floated out there as a contender. Fox is being thrown out there as a contender, and then Liberty Media is also being thrown out there as well. There's a few other places like the Saudis, obviously, Warner Brothers, which I don't see happening. So I mean, I think there's a few legitimate contenders, but I think the front runner is NBC right now.
I think the front runner is going to be the Saudis.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Here's the problem: the Saudis could offer the most money. Like, they can put like some stupid amount of money and be like, we want to buy it for like $7 billion, which nobody else is going to spend that much on WWE. But the problem is that that's going to be an absolute PR nightmare because no US company is going to want to be involved with a Saudi brand company. So they're going to lose their TV deals and things of that nature. And if they lose their TV deals, then what are you spending $7 billion on?
I bet you all the time that they're going overseas, they're fucking whispering in Vince's ear the whole fucking time.
Oh yeah.
I bet you they were. You know they were.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Saudis bought it, but it's like, yeah, I don't know what the direction of the company would be after that if that was the case. I mean, women's wrestling would pretty much be dead at that point. I don't think the Saudis give a shit about women's wrestling whatsoever. So you may not see that one moving forward.
If not, I honestly would see Warner Brothers because they would have stick with the movie based. They would go movies anyway.
Well, Warner Brothers is also having major cash flow issues too, so that's definitely not going to happen.
Facts. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, but
I think it's going to be the Saudis. I do.
I wouldn't be surprised. They really love wrestling out there.
They really do.
That's their thing.
Well, what are they going to do, though? Are you going to buy WWE and then move it to Saudi Arabia? I'm like, who the fuck do you think is actually going to make that move?
No, I don't think they would do that. I don't know. I'm assuming that they would still, like, they would just be all over the place, really. They'll be where most of their like talent is, which is America, like, based out of, but they're going to be all over the world as they are, probably maybe more often.
What if Tony Khan?
I don't.
Tony Khan doesn't have the money. I mean, people say, "Oh, he's a billionaire. He'll buy it." It's like the amount of money that they would need to buy WWE outright. I mean, if his father's already weary about spending $100 million on AEW, what makes you think they're going to spend $6 billion on WWE?
It's a bigger company. It's a better company.
Yeah, but it's still $6 billion on a pro wrestling show. You're gonna let fucking Tony Khan run it? That fucking doofus.
Well, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't get him. I'd get the fucking. I'd get Triple H. I'd hire Triple H to do it.
Well, like, you have to look at it from a business perspective. Like, there hasn't been proof that AEW has paid off at all. So, like, why would they make an even more major investment if, honestly, in modern day, they're not even sure if there's still an audience left to justify the whole wrestling?
I mean, they haven't turned a profit yet, and then they still don't have a new deal for a TV contract past the next year or so. And Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't look like they're in any position to be giving out more money for a B tier wrestling show at the moment. So
yeah, but WWE, I mean, that company already is like, it's already like iconic. It's already solidified itself as a big ass company. It's more notable, People know who they are already,
Yeah, but just because, like, they know who AEW is doesn't mean that they're actually like tuning in, you know? That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
people aren't really tuning into AEW like that. Like honestly, as you remember, like when they announced that AEW was a thing, we were so fucking hyped for it. Like we were so
Yeah, oh,
hyped.
yeah.
I was completely on board. You were completely on board. We were like sick of WWE, and we wanted a competitor to directly compete with
You know,
go up against WWE. We were hyped for it. Now I couldn't give a fuck. I really couldn't.
they're in talks in New Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if they buy them out either.
Oh my god, more consolidation. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I hope that that AEW or Tony Khan doesn't buy WWE or buy any more of these companies. Like, just stop. Just make your company like good, so that people want to go out of their way. So
The smart thing to do, he would fucking sell it to his son-in-law. I mean,
Well, his son-in-law's not going to buy it for $6 billion.
Yeah.
I know.
yeah, Triple H ain't got that kind of cash, bruh.
Nah.
It's not like he's necessarily done like a great job by any means anyway. Like I like Triple H's style, but it only works in a small scale. Like not the entirety of WWE and NXT it works.
level, not 3 major brands at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be. I don't know. I think it's going to be Saudis. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, I hope it's an outsider so that at least, it's a different group of people that are involved and not like consolidation just makes everything shittier. So
Because that one fucking Prince loves wrestling. He fucking loves that shit.
yeah. Yeah, so much
And
so
I'm sorry,
he almost didn't let the staff leave the country.
He's like, fuck it, I can't. He's like, fuck it. Nobody's leaving now.
Yeah, pretty much. That's literally what they seem to have been dealing with. It's crazy how Vince is able to sweep that kind of shit under the rug.
WWE has just announced that the board has unanimously decided to proclaim Vince McMahon as the new executive chairman of the board. So Vince is back, baby. Yeah.
Damn. Honestly, I have I don't care. I guess I just don't care. I just hate modern day wrestling because I'm just indifferent to it, Like when he stepped down, I thought it was shocking, but I wasn't necessarily for or against it. Now that Triple H is now and Stephanie are now kind of sort of seem to be out of it, I still don't care. I don't care either way.
Well, Triple H, here comes your pink slip because you're probably getting fired again.
Damn.
That would be the fucking internet would have an absolute meltdown if Triple H left. Like they will literally fucking spurg out like Adam Sessler.
Vince rehires everybody he fired and goes back to being a piece of shit again.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. He's that type of better piece of shit that he actually would do that.
Yeah, Vince don't give a fuck. He really doesn't.
Oh, he don't give a fuck.
Nope.
He hates the word. He hates the word wrestling. He hates the concept of wrestling.
Yeah,
that's their own fault though, because they actually thought that they were gonna fucking Me Too Vince McMahon out of his own company, and Vince McMahon sat at home for 4 months and was like, "Wait a minute, I'm still the boss here, god damn it!" and fucking took power back from everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy that people thought this was shocking. I thought it was more shocking when he stepped down because I'm like, I never thought Vince would ever do something like that. Like I felt as though he would tank the company before he would step down and let someone else take the reins. That's how I wholeheartedly felt. So it was more shocking to me when he stepped down.
But we don't know why he did this shit. He did it to get out of the fucking limelight.
Yeah.
I don't know until these fucking charges and have Stephanie come in and make and take a spot. It was a holding spot. This shit wasn't permanent. Everybody fucking knew that. This wasn't permanent.
Yeah, Love God and Bible Truth said wrestling wasn't always over-sexualized and bloody. It used to be a family event. Imagine how much money it would make if they got better story writers and wrestlers and focused on entertainment for all. I mean, they did do that for a long time, and it chased away a lot of their older viewers.
I guarantee
they went full the PG era. They went all in on that, and like a lot of those like fans from the 90s that seen it all, like seen all the extreme shit of like 90s wrestling and all the WCW shit and ECW, like a lot of those people said, yeah, this shit ain't for me, this shit is too baby, and they basically never came back to watch wrestling anymore.
Hogan versus Warrior, I think it was like WrestleMania 6, was pretty much like the peak of what that 1980s family friendly Americana pro wrestling was. And then it kind of died off for like a few years, and basically until the Attitude Era took off like almost at the end of the decade, and then it kind of brought in like a new era of like pro wrestling was. But ever since then, I mean, they really haven't had an identity since fucking Benoit died.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's sad to say. It's one of those things where, like, not just wrestling is never going to grow in popularity. Like, not.
Not only that, the fucking pillars are gone out of that company. Like the greats are fucking gone. Taker's gone. Triple H is gone. Shawn Michaels is gone. John Cena's gone. The Rock's gone.
Hey,
the pillars.
Why do you think Vince wants to sell it right now?
Exactly.
Oh,
there's
no
room to grow as a company in the wrestling space. You've chased off a lot of longtime viewers that will never look back to wrestling again. The people that you would go out of your way to watch, they're all like they're retired or they're dead. That's the sad reality of it. And another thing that a lot of people don't talk about enough, the wrestling community on the internet is so cancerous that there's no room to grow. There's no room for anybody to become a wrestling fan and actually have a good place to talk wrestling with down-to-earth people. Like, wrestling fans are maniacs. Like, they are Twitter cancer. They're always, no matter what a company does, no matter what they choose to do, they're always bitching about it. They're never ever happy. And if you disagree with them in any way, shape, or form, they will attack you. So in that climate, there's no room to invite people into your space that have never been involved in wrestling and have a place to actually enjoy this piece of entertainment. So honestly, I think it is smart to get out now. Just take your money and buy your yacht and live out the rest of your days.
Vince helped create pro wrestling. He pretty much did it, and he branched it off to so many things. I hate to say that people may hate this guy, but he's made some of the greatest wrestlers of all time come through his company. Yeah. Actually, he's had every great wrestler of all time come through his fucking company. Every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Every one of them.
Yep, and it's like wrestling reached its peak because of Vince, and it will die when Vince is gone.
Yep.
Like, when Vince steps out of wrestling, it will never recover. And you can like the dude, you can hate the dude. That's just, it is what it is. I don't really like Vince. If anything, the way he's been running WWE the past fucking many years, I've hated his style. He's extremely out of touch. He doesn't know, it's hard to appease the wrestling fan base, but he also doesn't know how to be not cringe in the current climate too. Like, just the way that he had used Dean Ambrose is proof of that. Like, he would have Dean Ambrose do the cringiest shit every fucking week. And it was stupid. It was genuinely stupid. He totally misused Jon Moxley while he was at WWE, and he paid the price for it.
Look what he did to fucking poor Al Snow. He had fucking moppy. He had a fucking mop. You know, people eat his fucking dog. That was a dumb storyline with fucking Perry Saturn. He did really stupid fucking. I mean, shit. He had a fucking Mexican group called fucking what the hell? Like, were El Cool or some shit like that. They're a fucking lawn mowing squad. A bunch of fucking Puerto Rican and Mexicans. That shit was hilarious. El Cool, is that what they're called? They come out with a fucking a lawnmower and shit. That shit was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, fuck you, bro.
Mexico. It was super.
Or when fucking JBL is fucking chasing illegal immigrants on the Mexican border for his feud with Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, that shit was hilarious. That shit was fucking funny, bro. Oh god.
Fuck Ethan, bro. how even,
Of course,
the shit that they got away with is like
Vince
shocking.
McMahon look. Of course, my all-time favorite is when Vince McMahon looks over at John Cena and says, "What's up, my N-word?" Right in front of Booker T. And Booker says, "Tell me you didn't just say that on national television,
Yeah,
national Monday Night Raw, national
Yeah.
television in front of everybody." That was the
That-
greatest thing
You
ever.
remember fucking Vince McMahon with the fucking do-rag?
yes. The shit that they got away with is insane. Like,
Who did he-
honestly.
Who the fuck did he suspend? Because Titus O'Neil, because he fucking hugged Vince, and Vince is like, "Fuck you," and suspended him for it.
Yeah.
It was because they were doing like some. I think they were doing something for, like Daniel Bryan, and like Vince is trying to like walk to the back, and then Titus just like
Vince
grabs him,
hugs him,
and Vince is like, "Get your fucking hands off me!" And then suspends him.
Neoselic asks, what is your thoughts on people's counter argument of the Attitude Era had silly moments or not great moments?
Oh, I had fucking
Here's the
hilarious
thing.
moments.
Yeah, there's definitely
Here's the
fuck
thing.
ups, but that one's like honestly, that's entertaining, like it was actually entertaining. Whereas like cringe shit now is not entertaining. I just want to like crawl away while having a heart attack because of the cringe.
Well, here's the thing. People like fucking Dave Meltzer and Jim Cornette and a couple of others have spent like the last 20 years gaslighting people who clearly didn't watch the Attitude Era into thinking that the Attitude Era was actually terrible because they didn't have enough great matches and quote unquote. And they do that for a couple of reasons. One is because a lot of the Attitude Era stuff was written by Vince Russo. And they don't want to give Russo any credit whatsoever. And then second of all, it's because now they want to convince people that no, 40-minute New Japan matches are the pinnacle of pro wrestling. Well, guess what? Nobody wants to watch that shit. That shit did like less than 100,000 views worldwide. Keep in mind, I mean that includes Japan as well for the New Japan Network. But Dave Meltzer gave like some match like 7.5 stars and called it the greatest match he's ever seen. It's like, yeah, that shit only appeals to a very few morons on fucking social media. Nobody else wants to watch that shit.
Like to me, I think like the best. I enjoy a mix of that. Like I love like complete goofball ass characters like Enzo Amore. Dude couldn't fucking wrestle, but his mic skills were like peak. Like in terms of what you can do on the mic. And then like also characters like Orange Cassidy. Like I like those characters. I like, good characters that are actually cool. But I also do like spot monkey matches. Like I don't think that there should be one dominating factor in a wrestling company. I think that a mix of these things is good because you do want to appeal to a lot of people. And honestly, I don't want a pigeonhole company that this is all that they're known for. Like, no, give me different types of wrestling, give me different types of characters, mix them up and try and actually see what comes of it. Like that, there's an art form to wrestling. Like it's one of those things where it's unlike any sport out there. It is entertainment. It is it is decided what's going to happen, but carrying that out, like you have to be, as a wrestler, you have to be good at advertising yourself. You have to be good on the mic. You have to actually know how to wrestle and not get yourself fucking killed or the people that you're wrestling against killed. Like you have to do a lot of different things that is just different from sports and whatever. Like you have to have a lot of different skills, and wrestling has shown that most of these wrestlers just don't have all those skills. So that's what's interesting about it. But mixing and matching all these different types of wrestling or all these different types of skills is what interests me. I don't want one wrestling like a wrestling company to just be known for one fucking thing. It gets boring. It does get boring.
Yep.
But yeah,
I don't think
going full Mankey out right now.
I personally don't think this entertainment is ever going to go away. I think it'll be around to some sort of form, but I don't think it's ever going to be the way that it was.
Oh no. Yeah, it's sad. Honestly, there's a lot of different entertainment that's just kind of just dying out. It's unprecedented times, man. It's just It comes with the territory, and we're going to lose a lot of things because, well, honestly, a lot of it is these companies' own fault for trying to appeal to people that don't give a fuck about their product and avidly go out of their way to try and destroy it. So if you keep appealing to those people, don't expect your company to be around very long. I think that's honestly the highlight thing to say for most of the issues regarding a lot of these companies.
You know what's sad? I remember a point in time that was actually fun to watch cool shit. Do you remember those days? It was fun to just sit down and just watch cool shit. That don't happen anymore. Cool shit don't exist. What happened to those things, man?
It got taken over by the Alphabet Rainbow Mafia. They're taking over everything now.
I mean, come on, Rainbow Mafia. Do you really want to sit down to this shit? Come on. This shit's not cool. It's boring.
Abides by their non-theistic religious doctrine. They won't support it. They won't watch it. They won't invest any money into it. But all that matters is as long as it abides by their non-theistic religion.
And you know what's sad though? After all that shit happens, they're eventually gonna sit down and wake up one day and go, "Wow, this shit sucks."
Yeah.
And it's gonna be and it's gonna be far too late.
Remember that time in entertainment where we just made everything gay and trans, and then like everything went to shit for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, these people have been miserable before they did this shit. They're miserable now, and they're gonna be miserable after all this shit is said and done. Like, these are just miserable people that find at least enough will to live by trying to make other people miserable and trying to control every space that is having any form of fun. Because they're never having fun, so their ultimate goal is to torpedo your fun. That's what gives them at least enough satisfaction
you know what it is?
To continue.
It's like those old bitter fucking like grandparents that like forgot that they were fucking kids.
Yeah.
And now they like, and then they have that little glimmer of taste of fun, and they remember how it is to be a fucking kid again. And that's what it feels like. They don't remember. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. It's like they weren't a part of it, so they don't fucking understand it, or they were a part of it, but I don't fucking.
You're talking about a generation of people now who don't even remember a time where cell phones weren't even a thing. Like,
that's true.
The generation of people you're talking about, they don't remember a time where kids actually like went outside and did shit and played with their friends and lived during the time where the internet didn't exist, or maybe cable wasn't a thing in their area at the time. It's like
the more and more I think about it, man, people go, what's one thing that should have never been invented? I'm sorry, I think the internet should have never been invented.
Well, I mean, really the thing is, like, when the internet was introduced, it actually, like, there's a correlation that the internet's introduction actually reduced violence by a lot during that time period.
Well, you had the very early days of like the internet where it was like nothing but like search engines and like GeoCity websites and shit, and like that shit was pretty much harmless. But ever since then, we've progressed to like a society where it's like nothing like social media and porn and just consumerism and shit. That now it's gone way past what it was since its inception. It's no longer a net positive anymore.
Yeah. Random question by Baby Nazi. What's your opinion on The Walking Dead? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It should have ended 10 years ago.
Yeah, it should have ended after season 4. I enjoyed those first 4 seasons, and then after that, it was just seasons upon seasons of dog shit. I continued to watch up until Negan was introduced, and I realized that, yeah, we're never coming back from this, and it's a wrap, so I just stopped watching.
Did you see the... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you guys see the story about the Tennessee cop who was apparently letting the entire department run train on her?
No.
Say what now?
So this is some wild ass story that I heard about today, but in Tennessee, I think it's like somewhere near Nashville, but 4 officers were fired and 2 more have been placed on suspension after it was exposed that one of the female cops was apparently having sex with everyone at the department. So the investigation is still ongoing, but 4 people, including her, have now lost their job, and 2 others are in under investigation. And then keep in mind, she was married, so she was getting ran train on being married by the entire department down there in Tennessee. So
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, in Tennessee, particularly Nashville is like one of the worst places to have to actually be at, from what I've heard. They need to
oh
stop.
no. The worst place is Memphis by far. Memphis
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
absolute
Memphis, I
fucking
heard, is
dumper.
fucking terrible. Y'all should concentrate on doing your job and not fucking each other. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
mean, hey, think of it this way. At least she didn't shoot someone because she thought she was holding her taser. So, I mean, there's a positive.
Yeah, she got shot on. That's what happened.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
A
Jesus.
bitch ain't bulletproof. That's all I know.
Oh my god. Anyways, is that how we're gonna wrap? Should
Shots
Yeah, there's no better way
fired.
to end the show than that.
Yeah. I guess you went out with a bang, huh?
quite
Today's episode
literally.
is sponsored by the book Why Women Deserve Less.
Right.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of that one game. That one
Oh
game.
my gosh. Damn, fierce apathetic Black Queen says even the woke canceled Harry Potter game developers for political nonsense. Yeah, it's like we're going, like, these people are just like, oh, we're going to put the livelihoods of this entire development team at stake because we don't care about them, just to get at a woman that we dislike for her political take on the trans community. That's why I say these people, they do not create anything, they simply destroy. They destroy anything in their path. They don't care what's right, what's wrong. They just want to destroy. They want to attack. The only thing they create is hatred. But everything else involves them just destroying everything that they can. Nothing that they have built. It's easy to try and destroy something you didn't put building. And this is the type of shit that is seen on the internet on a daily basis now. And unfortunately, these dumbass companies listen to these people and abide by their terms when really they have nothing at these people that cry cry racism, sexism, transphobia, all that. They have nothing invested anywhere. And that's why they're losers. Honestly, it just comes down to their economic thought process being a failure, and they're a failure because of it. So they just try to use their social power. And honestly, all these companies have to do is just ignore them. Ignore them and be pro-consumerism. Make a good product and treat the people that are actually willing to buy your product with respect, and you will get money.
Problem though, right? I mean, that's the dirty little secret, is that the reason why all these companies keep folding for them is because they're all on the same side.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So Neozoic says, Cassie and others, the great J.R.R. Tolkien once said, evil cannot create, only corrupt. Also, serious question, did you think will be better if the internet was banned? Honestly, I can't really stand by the concept of the internet being banned, because there are definitely positives of the internet. Conveniences. I've met some of my best of friends because of the internet. You know, like to take that away is hurtful.
It does, and it pains me to say that I wish it wasn't created, because I met all you fine assholes. I never would have had that.
Yeah, like honestly, I would actually have to go outside. No, I'm joking. I mean, like, I honestly like in my real life, like, my circles are super small, because just putting yourself out there is difficult, especially with like the current climate. People just want to constantly backstab you. My circle is small in my real life, but I do have a decent friend group that I met because of the internet, that are just fine individuals that we get along really well. We play video games together, we talk the shit, like, we understand each other. And it's crazy to have that kind of rapport, that kind of bond with people that most of the time you never even meet. But you can just like just chill and hang out with them on a daily basis. And that's the amazing thing about the internet. And I don't want that to be put at stake just because a bunch of bad actors keep getting attention. Like, fuck these people. Stop giving them attention. Why is Purple Taker even taken remotely fucking seriously, being someone that arguably, with being the founder of BronyCon, has given adults a means of having access to children in some of the worst ways possible? Why do we take this type of person seriously? Yo, what's good, Big Cloud, bro? Good to see you. I saw you were streaming earlier. I dropped by. Always good to see you, bro. Appreciate you coming by. But yeah, honestly, I will support the internet till the end. I'm the type of person, do whatever the fuck you want to do, just as long as you do not tread on me. That's how it is. And Neozoic says, I agree. I met you guys and the guys in the chat, everybody around the internet because, on the internet because of the internet. Exactly. Like imagine having to sacrifice that just because of terrible people with terrible intentions that are worthless to the internet being taken seriously by giant companies and people with high social power. That's the problem, Yeah, Love God, Bible Truth said, dang, y'all hitting Cassie with all the real questions today. Hey, I'm all for it, man. I'm down for having real legitimate discussions. I will say a lot of people nowadays can't seem to do that. And honestly, people get canceled just for having the honest conversation. But honestly, like I was saying, when Kara Lynn came into the chat, like, I created my YouTube based on the possibility that I could lose it at any point, just because I want to be myself and be honest. And that, you put yourself at risk. And
I mean, that's the thing with YouTube. I mean, even if you do get monetized on YouTube, you gotta look at the possibility that for any reason one day Google just decide, yeah, we're just gonna take away all your money on YouTube and you won't be able to get any of it back, and then it's like it could just be gone just like that. So the days of I'm gonna quit my job and be a full-time YouTuber, it's like I don't know about all that. Maybe keep some options open there.
yeah. Damn, John Shepard is getting real on these questions right now. He's saying that the questions are too deep. What is your belief in morality versus ethics? I mean, when it comes to ethics, I feel like
this is. I'm just gonna say just real quick. This is the big part of the problem. This is what kind of started like this whole thing with these weaponized like corporations and shit. Because if you remember, like 30 years ago, it was this whole thing about, oh, should corporations be ethical? Should they have a social conscience? And then we started like buying into this bullshit about, oh, well, does McDonald's donate to charity? It's like, are they upholding their social responsibility? It's like, no. What I want a business to do is sell me a good and shut the fuck up. That's all I want my business to do. I don't need them to take a political stand. I don't need them to have any kind of morality issue or try to push their morality on anybody else. Just sell me what I need to buy and then go shut the fuck up. That's all I need from you.
Pretty much. Yeah, like honestly, you're asking people to support you, like funding your product. Like, why do you go out of your way to browbeat those people? But when it comes to like morality and ethics, like they're kind of like one in the same, I feel, in an instance. Like when you talk about ethics, like you're talking about principles. And one of my biggest things that I constantly despise about modern society is that most people just don't have any principles at all. Like, most people are willing to change their opinions on the drop of a hat, given a situation, or just they have no principles to stand on. And that's my biggest complaint about a lot of people in society. I do have my principles at the end of the day, and a lot of my principles fall into the basic libertarian thought process of don't fuck with me and I won't fuck with you. That's really what it boils down to. I just want everyone to have a chance to actually voice their opinion without the fear that they will get fired from their job. And I think that's the biggest, most basic takeaway with this whole limited run situation, you know? Morality is what you can face, legal sanctions, ethics is more a personal thing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get you. That's definitely a deep conversation in itself. But yeah, guys, I guess we're gonna leave it at that. It's a gift and yeah, Iman says the internet is a gift and a curse. A tool can be used for good or bad intentions. Exactly. It just goes. It's just really what kind of person are you? Are you a piece of shit? Or are you just a good human being? Or you know, like I don't want to make it that cut and dry because I mean I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a perfect human being, but at the end of the day I don't want to fuck with anyone, and I just don't want anyone to fuck with me. You know? What were you going to say, Oz?
You know what it is? The internet when it first came out, and this is gonna sound so weird, but it was the last taste of like the Wild West. Anything could fucking happen.
Yeah.
Anything could fucking happen.
The internet was the Wild West.
It was like if you found a new country all over again, because everything was open for ideas. Everything was open. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted to do. That I mean, yeah, that's scary, but it was fucking cool because everybody could have a piece of it. Everybody could fucking prosper off this shit. Now it's just like everybody. There's one company that wants to fucking buy, and that's sad. That's scary. You know.
Yeah.
We were given way too much freedom.
I don't believe that. I believe that there's not enough freedom. There's not enough freedom.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, if you're like a mega corporation or the government, then yes, you have a lot of freedom. The government, people in the government literally have the ability to make and change the rules to fit their shit and what they want to accomplish at any time. Like, these people have too much power. Us, though, we don't have freedom. We don't have anything close to it.
I think we fucking should have never let these fucking corporations. We needed better fucking gatekeepers.
Well, like, at the end of the day, the real problem is that these corporations, these mega corporations, and the government themselves are indeed in a fascist partnership.
Oh,
the government looks out for these guys, and these guys look out for the government. I mean, the whole thing that Twitter exposed with essentially the government telling Twitter and Facebook at this point is also, there's documents showing that Facebook was told to censor certain information given from a specific group of people. That's literally what it is. That is cut and dry fascism. Proof of it.
Yeah, the thing is that competition affects their control. So it's like we can't have 30 different companies out there doing the same things that Google does because we can't control all 30 companies. So we just need to make it so that Google will be the biggest dog in the yard, and then we'll just snuff out all of its competition so no one can ever challenge them. It's not like the Google has done anything that's severely innovative to the point where nobody else can reach them. It's like there's more people out there that can do what Google's doing, but when you make it harder for them to compete and you snuff them out using the arm of the government, that's why they stay on top as long as they are. That's why Amazon stays on top. That's why Apple stays on top. They're all in bed with fucking world governments to maintain their power.
Yep.
I was watching a video and this guy made like a what if theory. He was like, "What if?" He goes, "What? Because this could very well happen, but it would never happen. What if Elon Musk bought Google?"
It's not going to happen. He doesn't have that kind of money.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, he used to.
I mean, I don't know. Like, the thing is, it's one of those things where, I mean, if like he eased restrictions on like the you in YouTube, like us people that are the you of YouTube, that's cool. But like any one person with that amount of power, that's scary. Like, honestly, I think absolute power corrupts absolutely. I don't care how good you seem to be, or in this instance, like you're good with this certain thing. Like, it can always end up bad when you give any one person this kind of like ultimate form of power.
Well, there's another idea floating around that he actually might be developing his own cell phone. So
yeah, but guys, I think we're gonna end it here. It is a good discussion overall. It was fun hanging out with everyone. I really appreciate everyone that came through. If you haven't, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Tonight at 9:00, I'm gonna be on Society's YouTube channel for the Barroom Podcast. So if you want to check that out, hang with us there. You're always welcome to. Posted the link to Society's channel there. I'll be there as well with a bunch of like homies talking about the topics of things happening in the world of entertainment and what is just going on overall. That's always a good discussion and a lot of good people to hang out with. We View Coffee says it's a great panel. So
yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about Vince McMahon, obviously with the new development there. We'll be talking about Dana White. We'll be talking about Dave Bautista. We'll also be talking about the Golden Globes, and of course, we'll be talking about our good buddy Adam Sessler. So all of those topics we'll be discussing in great detail tonight on the show.
Yep, it's always a good conversation overall. So
there's also some rumors for an Xbox event that's coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that and a PlayStation event. I mean, I want to see some confirmations, but yeah, that's cool. I hope that it happens because obviously, you want to be excited about new shit. So hopefully,
I think Xbox definitely needs to.
Yeah, I hope Xbox and honestly they both need to. PlayStation doesn't really have much like announced in terms of things coming out. All we know really is that Spider-Man 2 is coming out sometime holiday season. So, I mean, hey, get us hyped, man. We want to be hyped. But yeah, John Shepard said he subbed to you, Society. So that's cool. Hope to see you on the Barroom Podcast tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Shout out to John Shepard, Zero Dozer, Alex vs. Evil, Neozoic, We View Coffee, Good All One Bay. Thank you so much, BitCloud, for coming through. Otaku the Great, Nuke Dukem as always, Baby Nazi, Neozoic, of course, I'm Marish Swag Lord, the Fierce, Apathetic Black Queen, everyone, honestly, TW Booty Hunter, always good to see you. Love God, Bible Truth, good to see you as well. Resigned, BC27, let me see, Damon's Ghost, Zero Dozer, of course, Berserk for Life. Like, honestly, it's always good to see you guys. The good homie Sadeo Mao. If I missed anyone, it's not because you're any less. Also, big shout out to the channel members. I'm in Rich Swag Lord. Let me see. It's a small list and I already forgot it. No, I'm joking. But Our Carry, Hustle and Motivate, and Get This Work. Really appreciate you guys for being channel members. And yeah, anything you guys? Any final words, panel, to the chat or?
Fuck yourself.
Oh my god, y'all are just the worst. anything you have to say? Oz?
Trainers are toxic. There you go.
The final thing I have to say to the chat is fuck bronies.